yeah, this movie's crazy. It's been so long since I've seen this movie in its entirety. Man, I think there's a reason why. But it was an interesting time. I guess this was the early 2010s when YouTube was just starting to come into existence. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really on YouTube like that during that time, but I've heard that YouTube was kind of like this. So I'm gonna give you some context. If you don't remember this movie coming out, I envy you, or maybe not, I don't know. But it came out in the early 2010s, I believe, on Nickelodeon, based on a YouTuber named Lucas who had this character named Fred, and he was just really weird. And this is about the same time as when the Annoying Orange was really a popular quote-unquote meme, which is so weird because memes are just so different now that you think about it. All right, let's just get into this movie. So what I remember is a skinny white kid acting like I've never seen before. I've never seen any human act like this in a character or in real life. He is truly a unique person in his own right. So it's this high schooler who's obsessed with this girl in this school or whatever. He basically stalks her, and he has these like hallucinations that they're destined to be together, even though she doesn't really know him, and I assume she doesn't like him. So they're your main characters, Fred and Judy. Then the antagonist, his name is, I don't even remember. I don't know, bully number one, the worst dressed bully I've ever seen. He just hates Fred, understandably so. It's so weird. This movie is just so weird. I don't really remember the plot other than that. The events all just blur. It's just all into this one screaming just character. But now let's get into when I rewatched this movie. The first thing I picked up on on my notes here is this movie was made for millennials, because this feels like millennial comedy just turned up like 10 times.
If I don't get any food in my body, then there's gonna be no blood in my head, and then my head might fall off because there's no blood in it.
Honestly, I'd wager that this movie is better than like those millennial TikToks. You know, that like derpy type of comedy. That's exactly what this movie felt like. Let's see, my next note on here is it was just simpler times. They made some very interesting jokes that I didn't realize Nickelodeon would put in a children's movie, but it is very funny, not gonna lie. Next, my favorite scenes. And my that first favorite scene is when he was digging to Judy's house, which the opening clip of this YouTube video. Wow, Fred, man, just Fred. Anyway, number two, that's his name, the bully. His name's Kevin. So there was this one scene where he's dancing. But for my third favorite scene, with this guy from The Office, honestly, that was the highlight of the movie, to be honest. Watching those two characters just play off each other. Never thought I'd say that when talking about a Fred movie.
Oh my God, Gary! He's a gangbanger! This is mace! I will spray you!
No!
I will spray you in the eyes!
Lorenzo, what are you doing with mace?
Someone has to protect us.
This is not the time for your drama.
Anyway, and then my last thing is anything with John Cena.
Ow!
Pay no attention.
You know, when I was talking about everything before then, I forgot he was in the movie. Which is very strange because John Cena being in a Fred movie in the first place is very odd. And I kind of consider this movie what original brain rot is, because there's nothing substantial going on in this movie. Even for a parody movie, it's just in its own category. Like, I was watching Cooties with Elijah Wood and Elijah Wood, Rainn Wilson, and like a couple other people. It's a pretty entertaining parody, and I usually don't watch parody movies. It's just not my style, but it's just so strange to watch Fred in a parody movie and just feel that they're not in the same category. Fred is basically just a fever dream. Like, imagine you had COVID for like 2 weeks. You had, I don't know, 102 fever for 2 weeks straight. And you just had these like weird collection of dreams just strung together. just very loosely related to each other. That's the entire 120 or whatever. I think it's like 80 minutes, the entire movie. That's exactly what it felt like. And it just makes you wonder why'd they make this movie? You know what? I'm gonna look it up right now. Okay, this gave the most useless piece of information. Okay, anyway, this movie has sequels. There's a Fred 1, 2, and 3. There's a Fred trilogy out there. If you think about it, think about your favorite movie or TV series that got canceled, and then just remember that there's a Fred trilogy. If Friday by Rebecca Black was a Nickelodeon movie, it would be Fred. That's just the vibes, that's the aura it gives. But Fred and Rebecca Black, that's gotta be a dynamic. They gotta link up at some point. I hope it happens. It's like Shaq and Kobe. That's gotta be a dominant duo, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about Blast from the Past that I just saw. And also, it's on the Internet Archive. Because Lord knows I wasn't gonna pay to watch this movie. And apparently it just happens to be on Internet Archive. So hey, you know what? Do yourself a favor. Relax for 80 minutes and watch Fred.